For more on this, we are bringing in Victoria Coates, Vice President of the National Security at the Heritage Foundation. Victoria, thank you for bringing us your insights here as we kick off a new year. In a sense, this is kind of a tale as old as time, Chinese espionage targeting, but in this case, our Treasury Department, and pretty specifically going into, they used a stolen key to remotely access user workstations. Just your reaction to this.
Well, Molly, good to be with you, and Happy New Year to you and Brian. This is deeply concerning, and I think it's interesting that the PRC is targeting the Treasury Department here. You might expect them to go after the State Department or the Defense Department, but no, they're going after Treasury. They're going after our economic might. They want to collect data on that. And it also highlights the problem that we have with so many federal workers now working remotely. We have cyber vulnerabilities because those workstations can be anywhere now. And so China is trying to take advantage of that potential weakness to gather more data, both on the Treasury Department, but then, as Alex was just saying, on individuals who are potentially connected with the government as well.
Yeah, it never seems to let up. Shifting gears a little bit, I want to switch to Ukraine. The Biden administration likely giving their last big load of money to Ukraine, a $2.5 billion security aid package for Ukraine. Zelensky, of course, happy about this. They've long asked for more money. This is a pretty significant sum. Your thoughts on the amount of money going in and the likelihood that the Trump administration will or will not continue funding in some aspect?
Well, there's a lot of funny accounting going on here, and it's not just the 2.5 that's going in military. Secretary Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, announced this week she's also sending an additional $3.4 billion in what we're calling direct economic assistance. So this isn't bullets and tanks. This is money that is being wired to Ukraine so that they can pay salaries, keep the government running, which we at the Heritage Foundation have long argued is not the job of the United States taxpayer. You know, if the commander-in-chief makes the decision that he wants to provide military aid, that is one thing. To have the United States bearing the bulk of the burden for essentially nation building in Europe just makes no sense. And so I think we need a full accounting of everything that's gone to Ukraine over the past 3 years. We're looking at about $175 billion total that's been appropriated for this purpose. The Biden administration is pushing large sums, as you say, out the door as they go into their final days in office, and essentially flooding Ukraine with cash. And so I think we need Congress and then the incoming administration to really get a handle on this.
Yeah, the U.S. is still Ukraine's largest single country donor. And there's an interesting line in this Political report that over the course of 2024, Moscow seized 2,800 square miles of Ukrainian territory. So this is very much still an ongoing conflict, and Russia gaining ground in a larger respect. I want to take a quick look at the polling on this. Americans are pretty mixed on this. Not a huge, they're split on whether or not this money should continue to Ukraine. If you take a look at some of this recent polling, this is can we show some of the polling? That there's not enough, about right 25%, too much 27%. That's the Pew Research Center. Your take on how Americans feel about this cash?
Well, we've seen the numbers shifting over. We'll be marking the 3rd anniversary of the war in February. And I think, you know, the American people, you know, supported Ukraine very strongly as they fought back against Russian aggression. I think that's natural and right. But the Biden administration never presented any kind of a plan for this war beyond as much as it takes, as long as it takes. And that's not really a strategy. So I think they've seen large amounts of money, you know, going to Ukraine, and ever more aggressive weapon systems, and no explanation of what the end state here is. What's the desired conclusion to this? And there's so much carnage, as President-elect Trump has said repeatedly. You know, the killing is mind-numbing, and it needs to end. And so, as you said, Russia, despite all of this assistance from the United States and from some of our European allies, you know, it has not been enough to stem the tide and really push Russia back. And so the question is if, as President Trump has said, there is a negotiated settlement to be reached if the American president is somebody.
He has clearly leaned towards a diplomatic solution. So we'll see if that could ultimately come to pass in 2025. Very different administration around the corner. Victoria Coates, thank you very much for your insights today. We appreciate it, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Molly. You too.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.